tonight on the South Today. Southland gets a push towards becoming a high-wage, low-emission economy thanks to a government boost. A Queenstown restaurant turns pink for breakfast, raising money and awareness for breast cancer support. And the self-proclaimed Wizard of New Zealand is on a mission to abolish what he calls wokeness across the country. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. The government has committed $8 million to help Southland transition to a more resilient and sustainable economy. Energy and Resources Minister Megan Woods says the boost will help future-proof the region and reduce its reliance on the aluminium smelter at Tiwai Point.
Loud applause from the crowd at Southland's Green Energy Wānanga. But what's got the sector so pleased? Minister of Energy and Resources Megan Woods was in Invercargill on Tuesday, announcing a government funding package of $100 million for the sector. The aim is to help transition Southland to a high-wage, low-emission economy. The funding's aimed at boosting the transition towards using green hydrogen technology, along with another $8 million to support various high-impact projects.
So that's about continuing the opportunities that Southland's identified around aquaculture, around manufacturing and around businesses that will be able to leverage off the kind of innovation opportunities that will come from new industries.
The funding comes in the wake of last week's shock announcement that retail stalwart H&J Smith is closing its doors. Southern leaders welcoming the support as the region works to broaden its base.
It's good to see that the government recognises the value of this region, and we're already punching above our weight, contributing to the national exports, and to allow us to continue to do that, we need that funding, and that's really important.
The Minister also keen to get some firm direction from multinational Rio Tinto around the future of the Tiwai Point aluminium smelter.
We're interested to know what their plans are around decarbonisation, and for putting that stake in the ground that shows a commitment to the region in the long term. I don't think Southland wants to play 3-year cycles any longer over its future.
Woods believes whether the smelter stays or goes, the region still needs to diversify its economy to help provide growth opportunities for Southlanders. In Invercargill, the South Today.
3 Dunedin businesses have been damaged by what's been described as idiots with guns in a possible shooting last night. Police are investigating damage that occurred at the Ebb and Victoria hotels in central Dunedin on Wednesday night, along with Robertson's Meats in South Dunedin. Co-owner of the butcher's shop, Troy Robertson, arrived at work to find what he believes were 2 bullet holes in the store's front window. Similar damage was found at the other 2 buildings, as well as a house in St David Street. Police are still trying to work out what happened and urge anyone else whose buildings were also attacked to contact them. Queenstown has joined in the regions holding pink ribbon breakfasts this week, raising funds and awareness of breast cancer. It's a nationwide event, recognising that 9 women every day are diagnosed with the disease in New Zealand.
Bright colours seen all round as this group of locals joined together for the pink ribbon breakfast in Queenstown. Pink was on the menu this Thursday as local restaurant Odd Saint joined the nationwide event, showing their support for breast cancer awareness. A pink quiz and silent auction was on offer while event goers enjoyed their meal, with hundreds of dollars worth of prizes donated by local businesses on the line.
The cause very close to my heart. My mother had breast cancer and survived it. And I'm just delighted to host this today and raise money really and bring a lot of wonderful Queenstown women together.
Over 3,000 women are affected by breast cancer each year in New Zealand, meaning Pink Ribbon Day is close to many people's hearts, sharing their own personal experiences.
And we decided to put this on to bring together a lot of women who have shared interest in raising money and having some fun really. We've got some great prizes donated by local businesses that we're auctioning to raise money and just raising awareness of this really important disease.
Over $3,000 was raised during the breakfast and silent auction, with $20 from each ticket going towards the Breast Cancer Foundation. In Queenstown, the South Today.
The Independent Police Conduct Authority has found a police officer was justified in shooting a man who tried to stab him in March last year near Invercargill. The officer was sent to the rural house of a man who'd seriously assaulted his ex-partner. The man fired a homemade gun before escaping in his car, smashing a police car and driving dangerously along State Highway 1. After his damaged car came to a halt, he got out, wielding a knife and a gun. The officer fired a single shot into the man's chest arrest after a sponge round failed to discharge. The man later had surgery and recovered. The Police Conduct Authority found the officer was justified in his actions, acting in defence of himself and members of the public. Otago University is in more hot water after an investigation revealed the institution knew about its financial troubles as early as last year. The university is staring down a $60 million budget deficit, with Acting Vice-Chancellor Helen Nicholson announcing the likelihood of several hundred staff redundancies. The bombshell was dropped at a press conference last month, with the university claiming the dire financial situation has been signalled for a number of years. However, an Otago Daily Times investigation has revealed the university's leadership team was aware of the need for cuts last year, but chose to hide it from staff.
Well, I'm the acting VC, and yes, I was hoping that I might retire soon. So.
How does it feel to be in this position?
Well, it's not the most comfortable position, no.
The cuts have triggered an uproar from staff and prompted union protests around campus. Staff have until next Friday if they want to apply for voluntary redundancy, with the university currently developing a strategic plan to increase revenue and cut costs. The man who describes himself as the Wizard of New Zealand is leading a campaign against what he calls a woke tide. The 90-year-old's been enjoying winding up guests in an online seminar and is bemused by the state of the country.
Go woke, go broke. That's the call from the Wizard of New Zealand, also known as Ian Brackenbury Channel, who plans to lead the crusade against wokeness. The polarising character has gone online to call out what he says is a woke tide washing over the country.
I'm doing a seminar. I call it an online seminar, and I'm so rude to people that they get so worked up they get rude to me, and then it starts. And the feathers fly. You've never seen such rude comments. It's getting a big audience.
The Wizard loves to have fun, which he says is the opposite to being woke. Channel migrated to Christchurch from Australia in 1974, attracting headlines for his appearances in full costume in Cathedral Square.
It was a lovely theatre, the Square, great. For 20 years that place was humming because I was there conducting the orchestra. I never told the truth, I just gave them my opinion and it exploded, nothing again. So I used to end up saying, what do you think of it so far? And the crowd was shut out. Rubbish! It was a great moment when my own crowd said it was rubbish, because I know it is too, but it's the best rubbish you're going to find anyway, in my opinion.
He believes Cathedral Square died when the council rerouted the buses out of the central city hub. Channel was titled the official Wizard of New Zealand in 1990 by the then Prime Minister Mike Moore. The 90-year-old is now leading a more sedate lifestyle.
Well, I'm writing a lot. I published a book recently called The Fun Revolution, Jack's Adventures in Ideology Land. Now, Alice is in Wonderland, it's all strange creatures, but she doesn't panic. Now, I find myself amidst people with the maddest ideologies. It's full of ideology. I don't have any ideologies. I just bluff my way through.
The Christchurch icon has no thoughts of retiring, and on fine days still manages to get out in full regalia around the city centre, entertaining the city's tourists. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Whaiakane, still to come on the South Today. A massive blow for a Northern Southland Welding tree trust as funding starts drying up. And Alexandra school kids learn a thing or two about creating a greener future by getting their hands dirty at a cherry farm.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with zero deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
Price chop! My mate John's in full attack mode. He's chopped prices on beds and bedroom furniture. Lounge, dining and occasional have taken a beating. There's 40, 50, even 60% off clearance items. Buy now and pay nothing till November. Price chop! Only at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
Furniture from Stafford Street. And my mate John.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. A Welding Trees Trust is facing a devastating blow as funding for their efforts come under threat.
The Mid-Dome Welding Trees Charitable Trust has been helping fight the spread of welding pine trees in northern Southland since 2006. The Trust held a meeting yesterday in response to the government's recent plans to reduce the National Welding Conifer Control funding from $100 million over 4 years to just $10 million per year. Mid-Dome Welding Trust Chairwoman Ali Ballantyne is frustrated with the decision, saying she just about gave up chairing the Trust.
This is just gutting to suddenly have our funding back down to less than maintenance levels. After we've spent a significant amount of money over the last 4 years and got ahead of the problem.
The eradication project has already costed around $20 million, which is estimated to double over the next decade. The Trust will look to urge the government to reconsider the funding cut, hoping to prevent the invasive trees from spreading further. In Gore, the South Today.
A Central Otago cherry farm is pushing for a greener future with the help of the next generation. Central Cherries Orchard welcomed pupils from Alexandra Primary School this week to plant a range of native shrubs in their empty fields.
Starting the uphill climb for a more sustainable future. These pupils from Alexandra Primary School took over Central Cherries Orchard on Wednesday to plant more than 120 native shrubs and plants.
Starting on our journey of sustainability. We've got to do our bit for the next generation, and it's quite fitting that the next generation is helping us.
The orchard has teamed up with the Haihaiata Trust, joining their crusade for a greener future in the region. General Manager of Central Cherries Orchard, Chris Hull, invited the pupils along for the planting, allowing them to see firsthand the impact they have as they grow along with the plants.
Hopefully be able to come out here and say to their peers, their family, parents and siblings what they did here and see the growth and the change as we progress.
The orchard is hoping to make this a multi-decade project, inviting in classes each year to continue the new planting tradition on their non-productive fields. In Waikirikiri Valley, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Southland's received a financial boost from the government to help the region transition to green hydrogen technology. Queenstown restaurant Odd Saint raised $3,000 at a pink ribbon breakfast for breast cancer support. And Ian Channell, the Wizard of New Zealand, is holding online seminars to counteract what he calls wokeness in the country. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hello Mike.
Good evening, Hannah.
What can we expect in the paper?
Well, there's been unfortunately a shooting spree in the early hours of the morning in Dunedin. Several shops and a house have had bullet holes in their windows, so we've talked to various people who've been affected by that and asked the police about what's going on out there.
Yeah, that's a confusing one, but okay, thank you for your coverage.
We've also covering off a court case involving the long-running Barry Clue fraud case. There's been a resolution to some properties owned by Mr Clue that means there's going to be a small payment out to people who had millions stolen by him.
Right.
We covered Grant Robertson's speech to Business South today, going through the details of his budget. And obviously it being Friday, there'll be our sports tabloid, no doubt looking at Aaron Smith's farewell.
Last game for the Highlanders.
Indeed.
We look forward to that. Thank you for sharing this evening.
Quite right.
And time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, expect strong nor'westerly winds to bring rain to most of the region tomorrow, but it's looking relatively dry along the Otago coast. Heading to the top of the South Island, cloudy with gusty nor'westerlies up in Nelson tomorrow with a high of 18, rain and northerlies with a high of 15 in Greymouth, and a warm 19 with high cloud in Christchurch. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Very windy through here tomorrow with strong nor'westerlies and high cloud on what's looking like a warm day with 18-degree highs in Ashburton, Timaru and Oamaru. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Wet and windy as we come over here tomorrow, making Friday a cooler one too, expecting highs of 15 in Wanaka and Queenstown, 16 for Alexandra. Heading further south, strong nor'westerlies with rain easing and highs of 14 across the board here for Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins. And down to the deep south, rain with strong nor'westerlies overnight as it drops to 10 degrees. Friday's cloudy with spits of rain before a windy afternoon thanks to the nor'westerly. The day's high will be 15 into the weekend. Saturday's cloudy with showers and gusty westerlies with a top temperature of 13. And finally, heading to Dunedin. High cloud with strong nor'westerlies tonight and down to 9. Tomorrow's a little bit wet with a few showers, thick high cloud and fresh breezy northerlies on a 17-degree day. And Saturday is looking great for weekend sport. Expect some broken cloud and lots of sunshine with a high of 15 degrees. And that's the news this Thursday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, and you can also now follow us on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite a pōpō.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.